Okay, good evening and welcome to our episode 14. As always, let's start with our gratitude attitude. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax your body. Take one more deep breath, and as you exhale, relax some more. Take another deep breath, and this time, completely relax your body. Now, think of one thing that you are thankful for in the past 1 week. Once you have identified that, think about why that was positive for you. And now let it be free. If you are by yourself, say it out loud what you are thankful for and why. If you are with someone, just tell each other the same thing. Okay, so today I thought it was a perfect time to discuss our daily problems. Outer problem, inner peace. So when you think about our daily problems, they fall into two categories: outer problems and inner problems. If we understand the difference between our outer problems and inner problems, we can begin to look at a solution for a peaceful life. So let's take some example. What do I mean by that? Say our car breaks down. Some people get really anxious when their car breaks down, whether it's a flat tire or whatever happens to be here on a highway. And when you get anxious, it creates an inner problem. This is a result of a strong attachment towards an object. We have so much attachment toward our things that we begin to identify with our possessions. We think car is me. We think our identity is in that car. When a car breaks down, it can be fixed by a skilled mechanic, right? It just needs the right person to fix it. However, when we begin to get unhappy because of the breakdown of the car, no one can fix that. We are the only ones responsible for our inner happiness. If we control our mind and realize that car is an inanimate object, meaning it has no feelings, so as such it has no problems. It's just a mechanical thing. Something broke, car doesn't know, it has no problems. It cannot express its disappointment. It's completely an outer problem. On the other hand, if we look at the breaking down of a car objectively, take it to the right shop to get it fixed, and not let it disturb us, not let it disturb our inner peace, we'll come out ahead. I had this happen. I had too many accidents lately, but about a year or so ago on I-25, I hit someone from behind, right? So my car hit that car. Uh, so I come out, I said, listen, man, are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, I apologize. My brake, I didn't push the brake hard enough or soon enough. Obviously, the insurance will take care of everything. And the guy was so calm and cool. He says, listen, it's just a car. And that's the attitude we need to develop, right? Let's take another example of our body, which is much closer to ourselves than an external object. What I'm about to say is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of people because all our lives we have identified our body as I. Let's say we get diagnosed with a disease. Getting a disease or hurting our body is an inner problem. Most of you will argue. But that's not the case. It is our body's problem. We have this strong attachment to our bodies that makes us think that we are our bodies. We believe our pain comes from our body. But the body cannot feel pain without the mind. The body itself is also an inanimate object, just like our car. I know it's a very strong statement. A lot of us, not us, but a lot of you may not want to believe that. I come to accept that. But think about it. You may have heard stories of Indian yogis, right? They'll tell the doctor, listen, if you want to put a knife, go ahead. I don't need anesthesia. They do not feel any pain. They do not react to anything when a scalpel goes onto their body. Because they have overcome their self-grasping and they understand that they are not their body. We, on the other hand, grasp our bodies a little too tight. So if we let that outer problem affect us internally, it affects our happiness, creating an inner problem. Our unpleasant feelings are the result of our mind and mind alone. They are arising out of uncontrolled desire, or what's known as attachment, anger, and self-grasping. What does that mean? When we become upset about an external object such as a car breaking down, what we are doing is we are responding to our attachment to our car or our attachment towards a meeting we were headed to in that car. Right? So we got angry that, hey, I may be late in my meeting or whatnot. But it's certainly that attachment is what's driving those feelings. If we learn to objectively separate our attachment, we will not get angry and we'll be able to maintain our inner peace. So, remain peaceful in an outer problem situation is what keeps our inner happiness. Whatever that may be, whether it's your job, whether it's your family, whether it's friends. Today, a lot of people are going to get angry one way or the other, depending on who wins and who loses, right? But that's an external situation. I'm not saying don't get involved. Your involvement stops with your vote. But once you vote, accept the results. Don't let it bother you internally. If you want to go further than that, you know, convince your friends to vote your way, right? Do whatever you can to affect the outcome. I'm not saying be detached, but once the outcome is in, let's accept the facts. Let's move on. And most importantly, let's not it bother us personally. Let's not disturb our own inner peace. It is never too late to start controlling our minds. If we make a determination that we will not let outer problems disturb us, we should be able to make that as a habit. And remember, I think we talked about this before. It takes 21 days to make a habit. So, starting today, if we make a commitment that I will not let outer problems affect me, right? After all, most of the things people are worried about is just money. Money is half the problem in people's lives. If we start thinking about it's just money, half of our worries will go away. Let's start there. Let's make let's spend next 21 days trying to make sure that we don't let our outer problems affect our inner peace. So in meditation today, first we'll settle down in our hearts as usual, and then we'll contemplate out of all the things that make us happy, or I should say, out of all the things that make us unhappy, all of them are outer problems. And they arise due to our self cherishing nature and self grasping ignorance. That means that we think I'm more important than everybody else, that is self cherishing. And self grasping is we are so much grasping or identifying with objects as ourselves, right? My phone, my TV, my car, my job, my wife, my daughter, my kid, my body. That's all self grasping. And then we'll make a determination that we will not let our outer problem disturb our inner peace and hold that single pointedly. So that's the goal. Let's begin. If you are ready, let's get into a meditation posture. So sit in a cross-legged position or keep your legs straight. Make sure your back is straight, eyes gently closed, and your mouth is slightly open. That will relieve all the stress you may have built up. Take a deep breath. Focus on the sensation of your breath. Feel the cool air going in and slightly warmer air coming out. Spend a minute or so focusing on your breath. Now imagine everything that happened before this moment just melts away. It's past, it's gone, it's all melted away. Everything that is in the future, which has not happened anyway, just melts away itself. So you are in this moment and this moment alone. There is nothing to think about, no problems to solve, no fear, no worries, no anxiety, just this moment. Feel the peace at your heart this moment provides. If you find yourself thinking about past or future, come back to this moment and the peace it provides at your heart. If you cannot stop your train of thoughts, please go back to your breathing for about 5 breaths and then feel the peace this moment provides. Notice how one moment of peace builds the next moment of peace. Now contemplate that all the problems I had in last, say, 3 days, which made me anxious, angry, upset, hurt, proud, jealous, whatever that is delusion was. Think about the origin or the root of that delusion. You will realize that they were all caused by an outer problem. You let an outer problem disturb your inner peace. Contemplate that for a minute. Now, let's make a determination that I will not let an outer problem disturb my inner peace. Think of it single pointedly, focus on that for a minute or two. When you're ready, please open your eyes. Okay. So with that, let's open it up for any questions we may have. Go ahead.
Right. You talked about trying to, develop practices where body the pain is considered outer, not inner. Are there
Right.
technique to it? It's obviously very, very difficult to do.
Right.
I mean, a minor cut is not difficult to ignore. We're talking about a lot more things.
Right. So that is the last thing in a chain of things we need to get rid of, right? That's the most difficult piece, is the self-grasping of what's known as I. Okay. I means body and mind. Mind has three segments: gross mind, subtle mind, and very subtle mind. We are not our body, we are not our gross mind, and we are not our subtle mind. I mean, very subtle mind. We are our subtle mind, but we are not our subtle mind. So, mind is the ultimate thing, which takes a long time for one to accept that. But body is something we need to learn to accept that as to. So let's say we have a disease, right? We say I have fear. We don't say my body has fear, right? So we need to start there. Just start, differentiating the two. Once you start differentiating it will eventually come to that point, right? Um, somebody told me, I wasn't there, but somebody told me that couple of years ago, my dad, he was in Gokul, uh, and a boiling water bucket, and they don't wear any real clothes, as you know, right? I mean, they have this one small dhoti and whatnot, um, thin stuff, and on his entire body, and it was a second degree burn. And people who were there, apparently there were a lot of people there that day there, he didn't even say, oh, right? After he says, we need to clean this up, right? That was his reaction before going to the doctor. So the point is, we need to get to that point in life where we start to differentiate us from our body. If we successfully do that, we won't feel that pain. Obviously, none of us are there, right? But we gotta start, and the way to start is to start at least verbalize that, if nothing else, right? Say, don't say I have a fever, say my body has a fever. So start making those kind of statements where you can verbalize the difference between you and your body, so it starts that gap, if you will, right? And eventually it will come. Anyone else? Okay, no other questions. Premal, do you have any other question?
Yep.
All right, then we'll stop there.